Sorry about that. I got a message that the audio was not working, so I was trying out a new mic, and we will have to run down everything we just talked about. But we do have the severe weather that is moving out of Colorado into northwestern Kansas. We got these severe thunderstorm warnings that do include Wallace and Sheridan counties, Wallace and Greeley counties, and moving to the northeast. There is a 67-mile-an-hour wind gust on those gust fronts here as they're moving in. So this is what we're talking about, those strong winds right here. If we look at the tri-state area until 2 a.m. here this morning. This activity, if you look at the cluster up there in the Holyoke area, Haxton, it's becoming a pretty large area of rain, and we expect it all to fill in here in Burlington and that, and then move as a big cluster of rain and potential these wind gusts or microburst type winds upwards to 60 to 80 miles per hour. So that is the big threat here tonight. This heavy rain could cause some localized flooding. I know if we can just avoid the hail, everybody would like to see us get that 1-2 inch of rain. That will be perfect to do out there in the farming world of getting stuff in. People got milo and stuff out there planted, so we'll need to get us avoid the hail when it comes to our spring crops and the wheat harvest, which is so. Again, hail, these wind gusts, and the rain here this evening. We don't expect any tornadic activity. We have not seen any out there in Colorado some storm chasers up there in that Haxton Holyoke area, but nothing really has developed. Again, this 60-mile-an-hour wind on this gust front that's now moving through Sharon Springs, and Burlington, and then that'll eventually be in the Goodland, Brewster area, Colby, Winona, Wallace here this evening. Right now, we did not see those watches or the warnings continue on this gust front coming through Sharon Springs. We'll on this to see if it does pop up. But again, we are under a severe thunderstorm watch. It does include the entire tri-state area here this evening. We'll go ahead and pop that back up for everybody to look at. Here is what we're talking about. We've got the Storm Prediction Center has put this watch issued up here, an extension of the watch that did include this area out to the first tier of counties into Colorado or into Nebraska and Kansas. So now we do have all of Highway 25, all of Highway 83 from North Platte through McCook down to Garden City, 25 moving there. And also we've got Hill City, Norton, Russell, Hayes, Dodge City, Garden City, Larned, all in this severe thunderstorm watch here into the early morning hours in western Kansas. So looking at the same type of weather, this line does extend all the way down 385 from the Dakotas all the way to the Texas Panhandle. So we got a large area of wet rain sweeping through the plains here this evening. And again, that's definitely beneficial for the agricultural crops, particularly the spring crops that are in the ground and stuff that needs to be put in the ground here. Most everything should be on its way, and then we're going to be definitely talking about wheat harvest. We've had warm 100-degree weather, expecting more 100-degree weather here for Father's Day and early next week, and that will get that wheat turning. Looks like a decent crop out there, and get those combines rolling before we get to the 1st of July, more than likely. Anyway, we're going to continue. We did a quick rundown of the surface map. We did show that the dew points were sitting around 60. We can look at some of our model data. Here we were kind of discussing this model data that just came down, which was kind of showing where the direction that those storms would track. So according to our HRR data, here we've got this is 7 o'clock time frame. Right here, it's showing that moving into areas of the Goodland area through Wallace, Winnebago, the Brewster area around 7 o'clock. We ticked that ahead one more hour. 8 o'clock, it's in western Rawlins County, western Thomas, all of Logan County, and that is pretty heavy rainfall, 1 inch hour type rainfall amounts there. And then we move it ahead another hour to 9 o'clock. It's moving into western Decatur County, Sheridan County, the Oakley area, Gove County, and moving that direction. So in that hour there between 8, 9 o'clock, we really pick up a lot of rainfall in across this entire area up in Nebraska. We move to 10 o'clock. It starts moving to eastern parts of the area, Norton, Phillipsburg, up in Nebraska, Cambridge, Indianola. And then as we move towards 11 and midnight, we start heading off towards Hayes and Smith Center and places up there in north central Kansas. So that is kind of our movement here tonight. We can look at some of our severe weather data and see what it is showing. The models are forecasting as far as severe weather parameters go. I did see some talk of capes in that 1,000 to 1,500. That would not necessarily mean the highest threat for severe weather, but it's on that line where we could see some minor severe weather. Some of our helicity graphs show most of this energy kind of does pick up some intensity here as it moves into Logan counties, Gove counties down there in southwest Kansas, a little bit of energy or value up here in the Dundee County area. We can look at some of our Cape values to see also what we're looking at. I know I saw some readings, 1,400. Again, that is more The higher capes are down here south of I-70 in these areas. A little more moderate when you get to the north. That's probably due to the fact that we had cooler temperatures and didn't see the temps get up there into closer to those 90 degrees. That cape, starts moving around. So our severe weather parameters are not as high up here to the northwest Kansas areas as they are down here in the southwestern part. So that is something to keep into consideration as we watch this develop here this evening. Severe weather parameters are marginal, but we do have the potential for rain. Let's look at some of our rain estimates here. When we look at this, we'll go back to our surface and precipitation. We start looking at some 24-hour rain totals. As this is moving through, we start seeing some of these. Oh, that's 1 hour totals. Let's get on the 24. Oh, it keeps bouncing back. Let's go here. So we start looking at some of these heavier areas, pockets of 1.5 upwards to 2 inches, some 192s. As it gets to the east, up here in Nebraska, we got some of our 2s and 3s. So we're kind of, again, seeing that northwestern part, so this kind of being skirted a little bit. So we'll see how that all develops coming out of Colorado, if this becomes more of a area that's, we were talking about it shifting a little farther here with Joel when we were doing the radio report, of maybe being a little bit farther to the east. And we'll see if that does get the immediate listening area, which would include KYVZ here in Atwood and the Northwest Kansas Radio, Goodland, and Colby radio stations here this evening. So that's a quick rundown of our model data. That's the current run. We might look at it again here in an hour or so, but let's go and see if we've had anything extended back on our radars. Nope, we do not have any current. An advisory that now includes Leota and Tribune. Again, the special weather statements like we have up here in the Trenton area. Those storms are moving through Trenton, Palisade, and Hayes Center. Does have the 50 to 55 mile an hour winds on those and a small hail. Got the other one that's now moving through the Three Corners area up there in Hagler. There, Rickery Breaks. They're crossing in the Nebraska border. It would be in the Hagler area. And, the activity all of Yuma County. So those special weather statements are in place. Got them down here in the Leota Tribune. We could expect these possibly to turn into warnings like we see down here in Syracuse, Johnson County, and Walsh, Colorado. So we'll kind of zoom out on this here this morning. Again, we are in a severe thunderstorm watch, expecting severe weather across the area. Right now, we're kind of minimizing the effect right here in the scattered part. This stuff will probably, looks like it kind of skirts here and then reconnects right over here in this area, Atwood, Colby, Oakley, Oberlin, Norton, Hoxie, with the between 8-10 o'clock. We'll keep our eyes on this stuff coming out of Colorado. Again, we'll have some more updates here. We'll be calling as well as some of our listeners. Again, we've been doing this live here on YouTube, and if you are new to live coverage, so if you want to get follow on YouTube, go to myweathernow.com, and also if you've listened to Joel and I here this morning, We're talking about the Kansas Facebook page, America Weather Channel Kansas, and the Weather Valet phone app. If you messing around or answering soon, that is folks messaging and calling in that are listening or watching, and also doing our phone app. So we've got that up and going. We also have, this live coverage with dual radio and the live streaming. This is something we're offering. Working with Atwood Cable Systems to produce a live channel. We'll also be working with Northwest Kansas Radio as they expand their new farm network and do work in Goodland and Colby. We'll be going on in the morning there in Goodland. Morning reports over in Colby, very similar to what we do in Atwood with radio. It's been exciting to turn this into working with some of these younger meteorologists, and again, as we get better, something we want to provide all of Kansas. And the heart behind all this is personalization. We want to give our customers personalized weather. So if you get subscribed, it's $30 for an individual, a business, 4 users on that. So if you have a business, that could be 4 of your hands, 4 of your family members. 4 people could come in there. That'd be less per day. It's basically $25 a month. You'll get. You'll tell us what your activity of the week, where you're going. We'll send personalized forecasts each morning, crafted schedule looks like, and we'll then update you and keep communication one-on-one with you through the week. That means if there's going to be any rain, wind, any weather that will affect any of your activities or planning, and then we will, each morning you'll get that around 7 a.m. Detailed forecast. You let us know what you need, and this Weather Valet phone app. So if you go to weathervalet.com, register there, you put in your information, your location, your zip code, and we'll get you set up in the system. Your emails and phone numbers right now is kind of being pushed through email. It'll be eventually coming on the phone, then our live channel, and that will be added. And the streaming notices will also let you know when we're on YouTube or on the Facebook channel doing the live weather. So again, we're watching this activity coming out of gust front. Was clocked at 67 miles per hour back here in the Lamar area. Now it's in that 50, 55, through Sharon Springs. Looks like it's going to be moving in the Colrado area. Goodland here over the next 30 minutes or so, and moving through Leota. And we got storms now at Sharon Springs. Tribune, we got lightning being reported. If you look at our radar here, these are lightning strikes. Lots of lightning up in this activity in Yuma County. That's where the heavier rain is. Also got some heavier storms that are now crossing Highway 6 to the from the junction at Culbertson upwards towards Hay Center to turn off. So if you're on Highway 6 up in Nebraska from Culbertson to Hay Center Junction, Trenton Junction, we do have some potential for some hail, heavy rain, lightning. Again, if you're in that Three Corners area, Hagler to the west of Park, we got another special weather advisory there with the heavy rain and activity that's moving through there. Again, storm watch is issued for the area. We do expect some severe weather here this evening, potentially of the are primarily what we're watching here on the initial movement as they come in, and then we'll be watching to see if this organizes into some heavier activity. So that is kind of what's on, and we'll keep monitoring the situation as we go. Okay, we're coming back on here. We got to take a break there for a second, but we do got a thunderstorm warning that now has been issued for Sherman County and northern Wallace County. This has been issued by the Weather Service to expire here in 41 minutes. So that'll be mountain time. Potential for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and 3/4-inch hail here with this activity that's now moved through the Sharon Springs area, heading towards Goodland. Got a little bit of stuff that's popped up to the north and west of Goodland, out there to the north of Burlington. This activity, 3/4-inch potential of hail. This wind front, this gust front, we were talking about being 50-55 out to 60 mile per hour, and that will be moving through the Goodland area here in the next 30 to 45 minutes, 40 minutes or so. So we will be watching. We got the activity that's up there in Nebraska. Hey, Joel, it's Chris. Yep, I'm ready to go. You're cutting a little bit. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Your volume. Nope.
From the Rocky Weather Center, I'm Joel Navarro. As we dive into a Friday night, let's check in with meteorologist Chris and get details on this latest thunderstorm warning. And again, we've got Chris. It looks like it can get worse before it gets better. As things are kind of building, it's churning in the air right now.
Yeah, Joel, we were just getting ready to talk about a warning potential or a watch being issued for the rest of the area, and after we were done, that did pop up. So now we are a thunderstorm watch. It includes all the listening area and pretty much everything from North Platte to Garden City and Dodge City to the east to Hayes and Russell, including Fredericksburg and Smith Center. That is from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Continuation of the watch that does include all of eastern Colorado and the first tier of counties now in Kansas and Nebraska. First warning that issued for the immediate listening area. This includes Goodland or the KLOE station there. We've got a warning until 7:45 Central, 6:45 Mountain, and that does include Goodland and northern Wallace County, including Sharon Springs and Wallace areas. Right now, that thunderstorm activity has moved through Sharon Springs. We got lightning strikes being detected there. We do have potential for 3/4-inch hail. Radar indicated warning. So that gust front that's coming through. Right now, it's moved through Colrado towards Goodland. We'll have on our wind burst with that here shortly. So we got here on radar. If you're watching this on our live feed on YouTube at myweather.com or on our Facebook page, we do see the thunderstorms just to the north and west of Goodland, heading across the Cheyenne County line, and we've got activity pretty much all across Wallace County. There's also stuff that's in the Leota area. That's all going to lift in northeast across the listening area here this evening. Atwood, Colby, Oberlin, Norton, it may be picking fall and some intensity, and that's usually that between that 8, 9, and 10 p.m. here this evening is where we expect the brunt of this to go through. Include Colby, Oakley, Hoxie, Oberlin, Atwood, and McCook and Trenton up there in Nebraska. But Joe, I can't quite hear you. And later this evening, this stuff will be moving off to the east. Again, that Phillipsburg, Smith Center, haze, rustle areas during the early morning hours. As we get up to way tomorrow, we do expect the potential for some more weather tomorrow afternoon and evening. Again, we're looking at locations east of the line from Loda, Norton for activity. We don't expect it to be quite as active as what we're seeing out here this evening, but again, this evening is probably the bit. And then when you're looking towards Friday, we're going to see a bit. We saw cooler, a little bit warmer tomorrow in the lower 90s, but when we it could be up there in the upper 90s to 100. In the southwest, it looks like we'll have a digit heat here behind this rain activity today and tomorrow.
Chris, thank you so much. I'll let you get back to your radar and the machinery there. We'll get back to you in a little bit.
So we did a quick rundown there with Joel. It was kind of hard to hear him. They were testing that board earlier this evening, and again, I was pretty much guessing. So if you're listening on the radio while we're doing that and watching here on the live stream, I was ad-libbing there. That's something me and Joe have done quite a bit together over the years, is kind of just guessing what he was asking me, and I could hear a little bit. It sounded like later this night and later this weekend, I think is what I heard. So that's what I talked about. Again, that's part of what we're trying to do, is figure out this technology and get this to you. But again, if you're listening on the radio, I've always been told we do a pretty good job of painting what these radars look like. You look here on the live feed, you actually see them. So again, I'm going to be bouncing around here with these radars this evening. We got the one warning that's now in place for Sherman counties. And then we will have more of that activity. We'll be watching that stuff. It's moving pretty fast. So if you see that stuff that's now crossed over to Cheyenne County heading towards Bird City, it's going to be moving real quickly towards you. We'll watch there. The Weather Service is probably going to pop a warning up for Cheyenne County here shortly with that cell that's moving across the border. So right now we got Sherman, Wallace County. I got thunderstorms with a 3/4 inch potential hail, winds upwards to 60 miles per hour, and that activity moving through. I'm going to send out a message here on Facebook, let people know that we're streaming. Not sure how we can get a link here. Go to my personal Facebook page or Decision Weather. So if you're new to what we're doing here, we're this is Decision Weather meteorologist Chris Schromick. Everybody's has listened to our forecast the last 23 years out here with the radio stations. We are kind of turning this around and going. We are live on YouTube. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and KYVZ Northwest Kansas Radio. Go ahead and tag those guys here. But that is so if you're new to this, subscribe to the YouTube channel at myweathernow.com. Follow us on Facebook. You can follow on American Weather Streaming Channel Kansas. We are a group of meteorologists that are working together. We got 12 really, really qualified, high quality meteorologists that will be working with me to expand this and have a 24/7 live channel where we'll have shorts and educational feeds, a live radar, temp time and temperature, and video cameras that'll be on the KXXX or the building there in Colby, looking to the west, and we'll have video, also footage here with a cable system and the Mesonet. Hopefully, get that Mesonet on board to get some legalities worked out, so we can have something looking to the west in Atwood area as well. Again, we'll be putting that on the Atwood cable channel. Right now, it's on channel 11. We'll be looking at our own channel to be in cooperation with some of the school activities and community events. And again, we'll be, if you are a cable provider or cell phone company, check out what we're doing. We can get this information live. Have your own weather channel for your subscribers, your cell phone users, and that. And again, we're going to have one-on-one communication with our team of meteorologists. You'll see more of them on here. You've probably seen us. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see that we've all shared and done live severe weather coverage, covering storms in Iowa. We've got our own storm chasing team. Timmy Albertson, our meteorologist up in Duluth, Minnesota, drives down into the Midwest and all the way to Oklahoma for those severe storms that were that one night that got Burnett-Well and areas there where we've done some tornado chasing. So again, if you want to become a storm spotter with us, become one of our trained people that get us information on the ground, subscribe, get on the Weather Valet, let us know if you got footage out there, and you can send us your pictures and what we have, and we can put them up here live for our folks in Northwest Kansas to watch their own weather channel. That's what we're doing here. We're all certified meteorologists, all went to school to it. Some of us are even educators. Myself, I've been doing radio work for 23 years here in Rawlins County and Atwood, KYVZ radio, and I've done Northwest Kansas radio for the same amount of time. So many of you know my voice. This is my what I look like. So again, I am excited to be doing this. I'm excited about the team of meteorologists we have and the product we're putting out. I'm sorry I didn't have my professional mic. It worked on my Audacity recordings today. I'm not sure why we're not getting it on the talk stream or our Streamlabs studio here. But again, we got the software here. You're seeing us now on Facebook Kansas page. I just put a link on the Decision Weather page. I'm going to send something out on my personal page and let folks know that we're covering this here live this evening. Again, if you want to subscribe to this service, it is $1 a day. It will allow us to communicate with you. You can give us what you want for the week. We'll get that to you first thing 7 a.m. Monday, what your work schedule looks like and the forecast. If you're traveling and whatnot, we will get that covered. Sorry, I can't talk and type at the same time, but I am getting this out on my personal page. We are live. So, again, we're running this down here this evening. This is kind of my first do of something that we've been working with the radio station and doing this dual live streaming. Again, we've been talking about having our own live weather channel to be coming August 1st. We'll have our radars up. It'll be covering all the Northwest Kansas, KXXX, KLOE, Goodland, and KYVZ radio listening area, which would be the 9 counties of southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas. We will not be going over into Colorado. We're saving that for our Colorado team. We'll be working with folks out there. I know we're right on the border, but I will be the forecaster for Colorado as well. I got help with Kenny Greening up there in Nebraska. We got AJ France, lives in Vegas, but he's going to help me handle stuff coming over the mountains. And we're going to have this covered as far as severe weather goes. And eventually, if you look at some of our shorts today, AJ's been posting about the heat issues and the heat wave that's being forecasted in other parts of the country. We'll be talking about severe storms later next week. Father's Day looks like it's going to be a hot and windy weekend, and we've just got our hands full of weather here as we head into June and start going towards the 4th of July. Again, we're live streaming. We got this one warning that's in place for Sherman County until 6:45 Mountain, 7:45 Central. We've got a special weather statement now issued for St. Francis and Bird City. That stuff does have the potential for small hail, wind gusts to 55 miles per hour. Taking another peek here, let's see. I'm going to check out some of the model data to see. It is forecasting this stuff to around that 8-10 o'clock time frame, being the Colby, Atwood, Hoxie, Oberlin areas, picking up some filling in and becoming more widespread as rain. We could be picking up 1-2 inches an hour in that area as we speak here this evening. So again, we are tracking this severe weather live as it crosses into northwestern Kansas. We've got one warning that's now in place. We're watching this line come through. It does look like that gust front has now entered the Goodland area. So if you are in Goodland, feeling this burst of wind coming through, that is this gust front that you're seeing up there on our radar. Out ahead of that, that was clocked at 67 miles per hour down there in Cheyenne County out in Colorado. It kind of weakened as it crossed the state line. Went down to 50, 55 miles per hour. And now the radar is indicating that that could be now up there 60 mile an hour plus. We're talking about 3/4 inch hail with this stuff that's moving through the Goodland area. We also could be looking at heavy rainfall, in particularly these areas of the heavier cells. So again, we are tracking this here this evening. You'll see it's live on our Facebook pages. You'll also see the post that I sent out that we'll be calling in with the radio stations, particularly as these warnings start popping up as this line moves through here the next hour to 2 hours. Again, I will be breaking in and out of here this evening. I want to really iterate that if you like what you see, what we're doing, again, this is about personalization of weather. If you've gotten used to your weather apps, you don't know what and when and what's going on. Sometimes I hear all the time, well, this said this and what's actually going to happen. Us meteorologists get blamed for that. And if you talk to us or see us out on the street, our forecast is much, much more different than what is going on out there this evening. Sorry about that. We got Bama's getting excited. Somebody's here at the door, so trying to get him settled down a little bit. So again, we're covering this live here this evening. This is going to be simulcasted on KXXX radio with Joel. He's in the studio tonight. I haven't heard from Joe for a while, but as soon as some of this starts popping up and his ES goes off, we'll be also hearing from Joe down in the studio. Again, this is something that we're debuting as we speak here this evening, the simulcasting with the expanded radio services and the live streaming on YouTube. Again, the severe weather parameters, I'm going to go back and I said we're going to look at some of this model data. So again, I'm going to take a break here a second. Okay, just had a quick break there. We had to get my dog calmed down. He was excited that visitor came in and he's getting some food. So again, we've got severe thunderstorm warning that is in place for Goodland. That gust front is now moving through Goodland. So you're seeing that wind pick up real quick here. Then immediately behind this is going to be some downpours and maybe even a little bit of hail if you're out there on the western side of Goodland. Looks like you may be clipped with a little downburst here and a little bit of a severe weather. So again, the most severe cell is in this. You've seen this box now. It's moved through Sharon Springs, heading towards I-70, which would be from Goodland towards Brewster, the curve heading into the Vant area. Shortly, it'll be over the next 15 minutes is probably. And this is moving fast. It's moving to the northeast around 40, 50 miles per hour. So these storms are tracking just about as fast as those winds are blowing. So again, that is going to be the main threat, is the damaging winds, potential for some heavy rainfall and small hail. This activity we do expect to expand as it moves through the Colby, Atwood, Trenton areas. Again, I think everybody's going to be fine if we pick up this inch or two of rainfall. It's going to be the hail that we're not wanting to see with this. It does put potential. These radars are indicating if you get in these red areas, particularly down there to the north and west of Sharon Springs, that's pretty rural out there in Wallace County and Sherman County. They're in the southeast, but there is crops out there. So again, that could have some 3/4 inch hail in it. That would be, we could look at some velocity scans on our radar to see what it is showing on our end as far as the potential for the hail. So if we change our velocity scan here to look at some of our vertigrated liquid. So again, here you go. Just that small area that's in the bluish gray, that is what we're talking about. That might be 1 inch type hail. Once that turns to a gray color, we're talking up to 2 inch type hail. That's kind of in the bluish gray. So again, that 3/4 to 1 inch hail, it is a very small isolated area there near the Sherman and Wallace County line. That stuff that's now moving into southern Cheyenne County, northern Sherman County there, that is the color more of that nickel, dime, smaller type hail in those. If we look at our velocity scans, which show the kind of the shear into the storms, it's broad. You're looking at stuff that'll turn into circles and circulation. We're not seeing any of that. What this stuff is, it's moving through. It's all pretty much one direction, so your color changes. If it's green, it's one direction. If it's red, it's going the other direction. That's basically your gust front going through now. So those winds out ahead of it are moving the southeasterly winds. The winds coming in behind it are punching the other direction. We're not seeing that twist or rotation in any of that. So again, it doesn't look like the threat of tornadic activity is in the works for the dynamics of at least this initial stuff going through. We'll wait and see what happens when this turns into a complex or a circular type system and then starts moving a little bit more to the east. I'd say as we get towards the later evening, maybe Oberlin, Norton, Phillipsburg, Hoxie, places towards Hill City, if this becomes more organized and becomes more of a microburst type situation where you have the real heavy rain and the hail suppression, that could spin up some little small tornadoes and wind gusts and gust fronts is what we would call those. That just keep them cells a fueling, and those are the winds that could get up there that 70, 80 mile an hour range. So again, we're going to keep our eye on this. I'm going to go flip it to some model data that would talk about some of these potential severe weather parameters as we move along. So if I flip my stream now to the models, we did do the Weather Service stuff. So now here we got a model up. This is our HRR model that just came down from the 7 o'clock hour. It's all composed now. We'll bump this ahead. This is what So this is where it's predicting the radar to be. This is at 7 o'clock. We're a little bit farther ahead. Well, it's at 7:30 now, so it is behind. We'll bump that up to 8 o'clock, kind of showing it through the area, a bunch of it to 9, and see that line's intensifying as it moves through, just as we were talking about. It is showing it more scattered out here to the west. We are seeing those breaks in between those two complexes, and we were talking earlier today about one forming in Nebraska and start to move east across Nebraska during the early morning hours, and one in Kansas. So let's see if that's what the models are still predicting. Yes, it is. Or more. Now they start taking their east movement, and that is at midnight. So again, the early morning hours at midnight, it looks like it does kind of pick up some steam as it's moving. Counting my counties here, that looks like that's Phillipsburg. So that would be going south into Hayes, that Hayes, Phillipsburg, Smith Center areas up towards Grand Island, Kearney up there in Nebraska. And then you just saw me bump it across as it moves across the state. It becomes more of a bow echo. These are really strong winds out ahead of here. So if you're watching downstream of this in the Phillipsburg, Hayes area, that's what you can expect towards midnight. Again, these are heavier rains. As we switch to our severe weather parameters, this will give us an indication of, should show the same thing as we see our CAPE values going through here. Again, same thing. The CAPEs are higher down here to the south and west. We bounce them forward. They start lifting it and converging on that to the north as we get towards, this is 9, 10, 11, 11, midnight. And again, that severe weather potential is increasing out here in these areas, particularly from Smith Center, Bellevue, down there towards Hayes and Russell. That is in your midnight, early morning hours as it moves off to the east and sees that line intensify some. So immediate listening area, I'm kind of downplay the severity of a lot of this. Again, it looks like it's more of a rain thing. We'll go to our rain information. We'll go to our surface and precipitation, look at some of our rain totals as it's moving through here. Same thing, starts really picking up as it moves off to the east. Again, those 1 inch, 2 inch heavier stuff is around us, and not so much out here to the west. This model looks like it probably is off a little bit. We can go and look at another one. Let's see what else is updated here. We got our RAP model has updated. Let's see what it's showing for rain. Same type of thing, really picking up to the west. 2 inch rains over here, not count my counties, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means we're at Phillipsburg, Smith Center, and Bellevue, Concordia. Belleville, Mankato, 2, 2 1/4. Up here in Nebraska, we're on I-80. Down we get to Kearney, west of Kearney, up there between North Platte, Sutherland, 2 inches, 1. All back here, you get into immediate listening area, and it's starting to downplay even the heavier rain for us. Again, this is model data. It isn't quite 100%, but that does give you an indication of what we're trending here tonight. Severe weather is lessening to the west, picking up to the east, and that is there. Say our axis is Highway 83 and 25 is that east and west cutoff. So we may only be on here for an hour or two. I've got on here at 6:30. If this keeps up in this fashion, we may just kind of do a few radio splits and say the severe weather was not quite as severe as it could have been. So let's bounce back to our radar. Again, this is what we're looking at. Current radar line is picking up. So if you see that, it is picking up in intensity. These cells are getting stronger. That means there will be more hail and more wind as it moves through Brewster, Colby. Going to skirt past St. Francis a little bit here. Bird City, McDonald, Atwood. This line is picking up. We are, again, we saw there's some maybe some 1 inch type hail and this stuff right here. We'll keep an eye on that. The Weather Service does have this in effect for another 10 minutes this morning, but we will keep a watch in here. That line is picking up in intensity. So what we just saw in the rain, I'm going to say it's off by a county or so. So when we get to 8 o'clock, when that stuff updates again, watch that heavier rain shift back to include Colby and Atwood. If you look at this stuff, it's raining about an inch, a half inch, 3/4. It's got fast movement to it. So I'm not going to say it's an inch an hour. I could go back and look at that real quick, see what the 1 hour totals are on that model data. That'll give me a pretty good indication of what I can say here as a 1 hour QPF. So just running through this real quick again, I'll look where it picks up in intensity. 1 hour QPFs, the heaviest is quarter, and then once it gets over the Oakley, it starts going a half inch per hour. Up in Nebraska, we got some 60, no 1 inch per hour type stuff. So again, this would turn the accumulation down more towards that half inch to an inch type accumulation over an hour or 2 hour window as it moves through your county or listing area. So let's go back, can correlate that to the radar discussion here. So we got it's now moving through Goodland. If you were listening to us here in Goodland, I would include Landon, my brother Joe, you guys. If you're there in Goodland, you got Rumbles of Thunder, the Amelia family. All the people I know there, you got Rumbles of Thunder. That wind gust has moved through. Got maybe a little bit of a downpour now. It's kind of scattered immediately over Goodland, but to the north, up there by the airport, north and west of town, got a pretty good downpour line moving through. We can get this a little more zoomed in. Look at that. So we'll zoom on in here to Goodland area. We got this Sherman County warning. The heaviest stuff, the most, with quite a bit of lightning, is down here in the southeastern parts of the county. This is heading towards Brewster. So if you're up there on I-70 between Edson and Brewster, you got the wind gust has already moved through. That's going to be heading through Brewster here shortly. And we got this pretty good rain coming through here. We could look at let's look at some of that. Go back to that hail, see what we got from potential hail here. Again, we got these little areas popping up. These would be where your hail is, the smaller type hail. Again, these colors should be more trending towards these bluish grays, but we will. Hey Joel, it's Chris.
Hey buddy, you got a free moment for us?
I am free and ready to roll.
You are the best. Hey, by the way, I appreciate your service, by the way.
Good.
And I have not forgotten about you. I have been in chaos mode all week. Today, I'm sitting down and we're going to get you taken care of.
Cool.
I promise.
Well, I know we're all overworked and scripting.
Yeah, and then I'm training Caitlin and the intern, and it's just been crazy. But I want to sit down with Chad on Monday and I want to get the signed seals delivered and get rolling with you.
Okay, cool.
So,
Cool. Well, I've been talking about it a lot and excited. So.
And I have too. Chad's on board. I'm on board. The sales people are on board. We're pretty happy. I think it's going to be a great relationship.
Cool.
Well, cool.
Like after them.
So now we got a severe thunderstorm warning that this. So this is at 7:45 and 8:45.
Weather coverage. Let's get the latest on this severe thunderstorm warning and kind of see what's happening. We've got the guy who's got his eye to the sky. He's got radar. He's got all the tools needed to give you the most accurate forecast. On top of that, this meteorologist lives in Edwood, Kansas, in northwest Kansas. He's your neighbor. And so this weather affects him as well as meteorologist Chris Schramm. Good evening, Chris. What is the latest?
Well, we're watching this line of thunderstorms. It's now moved it through the Goodland area. It kind of went through there as a scattered line, and now you're still getting some rumbles of thunder. There is some lightning strikes to the north and west of Goodland, and we've got that gust front that's now up there on I-70 going through Brewster pretty much as we speak. That is a 60-mile-an-hour wind, and then behind that there are a line of storms that has now developed through southwest or southeastern Sherman County all the way up to the Ray area. Now we got some thunderstorms that are moving just to the east of St. Francis. We got a bunch of lightning strikes that just popped up there, and now moving into Bird City. So we got a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for northwestern Cheyenne County, all of Dundee County, with this activity that's crossing the line, and does include Ray. So that is until 8:45 p.m. Central, 7:45 Mountain Time, and that would mean that Benkelman, St. Francis, Bird City, and all those areas in Dundee County will see this line move through. Radar is indicating that we are talking 1-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind with this. I did a quick rundown of the model data, and it was showing rainfall rates of about a half-inch an hour. So this moves through here. We could see some quick downpours that would give you a half-inch, maybe a quarter, three-quarters inch of rain, as well as that hail potential. So we do have a warning that still is in place. I'm here for another, this would be Sherman County, northwestern Wallens County for 4 minutes. We do expect the Weather Service to probably extend that to include western Thomas County, and it just did that. We just saw that pop up. Now we got Colby, Oakley, Atwood is on the northeastern edge of this next warning that popped up, as well as Hoxie, Quinter, and Oakley. So this new warning is now in effect for the next 50 minutes. That'll go until 7. Got to get my Central Time versus Mountain Time. We're going 8:15 here with this one, and it is now including Oakley, Atwood, Colby. Again, that's radar's estimating as it moves through here. Again, that 3/4 inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So we kind of do a rundown of this one. It does include eastern Logan, southwestern Sheridan, southwestern Rollins, northeastern Sherman, western Gove until 7:30 Central, 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain Time. And again, this is this line of storms that we were talking about that just went through Goodland, is now entering areas around Wheeler, Kansas, Bird City, and heading towards Brewster. Again, this has formed a long line of storms that extends from Ray all the way down there to Scott City, moving northeast, and we'll be cruising through our listening area over the next hour. So again, I'll just do a quick rundown. We got warnings now that include Colby, Oakley, just to the west of Atwood, Hoxie for the next 40 minutes or till 8:30 Central Time, and then we do have Dundee and northwestern Cheyenne County also with a warning in place.
All right, Chris, Trump meteorologist, will let you get back to it. Get you do your thing with that. We'll keep you up to date on the air, and then Chris will be back with you momentarily. Severe weather coverage right here.
This is Chris.
Hey, Chris. I know you're probably swamped tonight.
Oh, yeah, we're just rolling through them here.
All right. You got a quick minute?
Yep, I'm good to go.
I'm going to try to shut off the voice of my phone, and hopefully I won't hang up on you like I did the other day. All right. I think we're good to go. All right. This is 106.1 KYV Ezekiel, Missouri, back on the phone with meteorologist Chris Schramm, get Decision Weather Now, as well as America's Weather Streaming Channel. Chris, we have some activity to the south of Rollins County and the local area, and up to the north of Rollins County, kind of in the local area, as well as stuff kind of moving in from Colorado. What are you seeing on radar tonight?
Well, Joe, we've been watching this radar and covering this here live on YouTube and Facebook, and been going back and forth with Northwest Kansas Radio. But we now have a line of storms that extends all the way from Ray, Colorado, to the north up there to Ogallala and through Goodland. It's just moved through the Goodland area and now heading towards Brewster all the way down to Scott City. This is moving northeast at about 30, 40 miles per hour. It does have a gust front wind on it. It's been recorded at 60 mile an hour, and we are showing radar indication of 3/4, maybe some 1-inch hail, and lots of lightning strikes along this line. We're seeing lightning indicators all the way from the cells that are now moving into the St. Wheeler area, all the way down to the north and east of Goodland, down there into parts of rural Logan County. And again, this is heading towards Colby. We got warning in place, and it does include Colby, just clips Atwood to the west and Hoxie to the west. This one is until 8:30 Central Time. And then we also got the one up there in Nebraska, which includes northwestern Cheyenne County, Dundee County, and Nebraska. And that one also goes until 8:45 p.m. Central, 7:45 Mountain. There is thunderstorms now filling in north of Trenton, north and west of McCook. We expect this area over Colby, Atwood, Oberlin, Norton. When we look at our model data coming in here at 8 o'clock, I expect that to be the area that fills in. When we did our last rundown, it had that heavy rain to our east a little bit. I think it's going to back up. Radar is indicating this is about a 1/2 inch per hour type rain. So I'm thinking we could pick up a good inch of rainfall or more in those areas along 25 and to the east here between 8 and 10 p.m. So we're going to watch this line. We do have the warnings now in place that do include Oakley, Brewster, Colby, Atwood to the west. You kind of skip McDonald and Bird City, but they'll get included in it because it's going through there too, and in the Wheeler area. So it's a solid line. Gust front wind to 60 mile an hour. Could have 3/4 inch to 1 inch hail in some of these isolated cells. Them strong cells are, if you're watching on when I do the VIL and the stuff online, you'll see they're real spotty and small in between that line. So you could get some hail. Odds are it'll dodge you or miss you or get a field and maybe not another field. But it is out there. There is small hail and something to consider. Lightning and that downpour of rain as this line moves through.
Just kind of the time frame. When will this stuff get through the area, and what do you expect after this line goes through?
The last model run was indicating that the rain will pick up as it hits 25 and starts moving towards 83. The severe weather really picks up when it gets to the Smith Center, Hayes area. There in central Kansas around midnight, and that north central to the I-70 does look like there could be severe weather, heavy rain, wind gusts up to 70 mile an hour, and some hail in those areas. As it moves through here, places to the west of Goodland, now to the west of Burlington, don't worry about it. It's past you. The dry air is kind of punching in. Colby, Atwood, Oakley, Trenton will be under the gun here between 8 and 9, moving towards Oberlin, Hoxie, Greenfield, Grinnell, down I-70 around that 8 to 9 p.m. So that's kind of the rundown here. The immediate area is going to be 8 to 10, moving off to our east after 10, severe weather and intensity picking up towards midnight in north central Kansas.
Okay, parts of the listening area remain under severe thunderstorm watch until 2 o'clock. They extended that the earlier warning, and we'll keep you posted. For 106.1 KYVC and Chris Schramm, making decision one through that one, as well as America's Weather Streaming Channel. I'm Joe Missouri. All right. Let you get off the phone. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay, everyone. That's how this is working. We're going to do this radio and live thing. Hopefully, as time goes, we got some big severe weather outbreaks across the country. I can kind of show you some of our capabilities with our radar. So what you saw us doing there is see how fast that comes up on my information here. I can turn around, get it on the radio, and out to you guys as quick as that ESS is going off. If you were listening to that, mine came up first, and then Joe's while the radio was going off. So there is some delay between these systems. I'm not sure what's causing that, but that was the first time I'd noticed that happening. I think I do remember during one of the tornado warnings that we were a little bit ahead on that, but I'm not sure how that funnels through. But again, it's all hooked together. Once that weather service fires it, we all should get it pretty quickly. here. So again, we're watching this stuff. It has slowed down. That line has. I've noticed that here. That means that what we were talking about is the rain picking up. So we were looking at some model data that showed virtually no rain. Highway 25 that would include Rollins County and Thomas County. That's not going to happen. It's slowed down. This line's filled in. So Goodland may have picked up 10, 15 hundredths. You're going to the east there. It's probably going to be Brewster, Birch City, McDonald, probably going to be in that quarter to half inch. And then as it starts working towards Colby, Atwood, you're going to start seeing that fill in. You're seeing that stuff up in Nebraska kind of filling in. That's probably going to turn into a ball of precipitation. And then we're going to watch this stuff over Atwood, Colby, Oakley. That should turn into a ball of precipitation and then move off to the east. So you'll have two clusters of thunderstorms. The south one is going to keep the energy. That is what the models are indicating in the last 2 hours, is as that moves off to the east, that south one will zap the north one up there in Nebraska. So I wouldn't be surprised if the warning or the watch, would be shortened up there in Nebraska as that occurs, and then include mostly Kansas or maybe just a tier. It might drop I-80 off to the north up there. So we'll watch to see if that happens. We'll verify that here and give us about 10, 15 minutes after the 8 o'clock hour to see what the next model run is showing. But again, here I'm using my meteorological skills to forecast that without even looking at it, to just here watching the radar and what's happening. So again, we've dropped the warning now that was Goodland to the west in Sherman County. Wallace County is now out of the warning. This line is now moving into the Thomas Sherman County line, the Logan County, central Logan County, heading towards Oakley and Colby. We'll be in those areas probably at 7:15. 7:30, and then working its way up towards Atwood, Hoxie for that 8 o'clock time frame. The stuff out there along the Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado border in the 3/4 area, that is now probably our heaviest activity out there. Got lots of lightning in that area, some pretty good rainfall. That's moving real slow. I think that's the area we're going to see kind of cut off. So this next hour is going to be cool watching this radar. You see how we got these two warnings split? I imagine that's what the Weather Service is thinking as well. Is, we're going to see this area up here split off, and then this area here split off, and kind of do what I was saying as it moves off to the east. So again, we're running that down. I'm going to back our radar out, see what's going on across the country. We don't have a lot. We got some. Guess they're packing up over here to kind of go into north central Kansas when that moves off to the east here later this evening. So again, we're doing the severe weather coverage here live. American Weather Streaming Channel. KYBZ radio, Northwest Kansas radio. Just got a warning that popped up now. It includes Scott City down there for 35 minutes. This does have larger hail. It's ping pong ball size and wind gusts up to 70 mile an hour. So that does include Scott City. Looks like Dighton's in that, moving to the east-northeast, roughly around 20 miles per hour. So Scott City, Dighton, areas down there in Lane County and Scott County do have the threat for ping pong size hail and 70 mile an hour wind gusts here over the next half hour. Again, that line now is the main line is moving through that Brewster area out there, St. Francis, heading towards Oakley Colby. We'll keep an eye on this, eventually Atwood as it moves through. Okay, again, we're the severe weather coverage here. We've been talking about you probably heard Joel and us talking there. If you were listening, we're excited to be doing the partnership with them. We've been doing some events here over the years, and the technology that American Weather Streaming is allowing But we're watching this line. I'm going to do some, what time is it? 6, 8 o'clock. Let's look at this. um, kind of look at some of these parameters again on this to see what type of size potential we have maybe with the hail. That's what we're probably most worried about is the size of that. Now this has weakened some, so right here, the Scott City stuff, that's what we're talking ping pong. So that's your 2-inch color, that gray, um, our scale. So our gray up here on the scale is all the way up here. You get to the yellows, and these are not so much. The red, orange, this is some larger hail up here. That may be 3/4 inch. So good news is it's pretty hit and miss and not so much going through our immediate area. We got some stuff down there around Scott City, of course, that's that ping pong size. But right now, the immediate area, this is pretty small hail. Small hail this time of year, though, with a 60-mile-an-hour wind, doesn't do you any good either. So this cell right here on the this is one we'll be watching on the Cheyenne County line, heading towards southwestern Rawlins County. This activity up to the north and west of Benkelman, and again here, this around Oakley. This probably has enough hail to cause damage, to any wheat crop in it. Say it's 3/4 inch type hail up to an inch, but it's very, very isolated. So a field or so could get hit, but we'll watch that line as it comes through. We'll flip back and forth to that parameter. We looked at velocities scans, and there was no indication of rotation. I think the next thing we'll look at is rain. How much rain will we get? Like I said, I'm thinking 1/4 to 1/2 inch type to the west. You start getting to the east, this line starts filling in a little more, maybe 1/2 inch to an inch. Get to the east of towards Norton, Hill City, those ways it'll really pick up as it moves off to the east. Again, that's what we're looking at. Again, the city area definitely has the strongest cell. We'll see what that does here. We got gust front bow. I mean, we're looking at a nice defined bow echo now here. This is what you call bow echo. Here at the front, this will be your strongest winds. It's kind of veering back. This here is probably going to cut off, rain itself out. That's kind of what we're doing with this watch. Outwards, you may get in a hole here. We'll just keep watching that. Colby looks like you're going to get a rain here coming through. Oakley. Oakley's going to have some pretty good stuff to the south on 83 here shortly. Again, Scott City, Scott County Lake area, heading towards Dighton, not Dighton, Healy. I guess that would be Healy up there on Highway 4. That looks like the heaviest potential. But that is what we're rolling through here. Kind of going to take a break here until the radio station calls back in, but I'm going to leave the radar up. And as soon as anything pops here, I'll be right back. But I've got to take a little bit of a break to rest my throat for a second.
everybody. Stand by.
Okay, so we got the Colby radio calling here. We got this front that's now coming into there from the west, so that's what they're seeing coming into town. I think they're seeing a lot of dust and probably
All
a
right,
lot
thank you,
blowing.
Mike. It is the Rocknet Media Radio Network's severe weather tonight. This is a big thunderstorm warning because it affects such populated areas in northern Kansas for the latest. We're going to go to meteorologist Chris Schromick. Chris, I'm sitting here on exit 53 up of I-70, and it is getting dark, and it got dark and humid back.
Yeah, Joel, we got this line of storms now that's just to the west of Colby. And if you're sitting on that 53 exit, that wind gust is going to be there shortly. It's going to be gusting up there around that 50, 60 mile an hour. And that's what's triggering this warning. And right behind that is that line of thunderstorms. So we've got some pretty good downpours. And this line is pretty solid all the way from Scott City to Benkelman. It's going to be moving to the northeast here, about 30, 40 miles per hour. We do have a warning that does include Colby and Oakley until 8:30. That will also, maybe in that half-hour time frame, this will be off to the east there, heading towards Hoxie and Atwood. Within that line, we just looked at, we got lots of lightning. The largest hail is down there in the northern Scott County, southern Gove, and Lane County area, where it could be ping-pong-sized hail. You get into these isolated cells to the south of Oakley. They look like 3/4, maybe an inch. And then you get south of Colby to the north of Colby, all the way up to that stuff in Cheyenne County. That's a little bit smaller and very scattered. It looks like it's about 3/4 inch, really a half-inch type hail. But if you got that 60 mile an hour wind and where the wheat is pretty mature, that wind combined even with those small isolated hail would cause significant damage to the crop. But again, the good news is it's scattered and very isolated, particularly in the area that's moving through Thomas, Rollins, and Cheyenne County. You get down south of Oakley towards Scott City, and that's looking a little bit rougher down there. So again, we got this wind that's going to be blowing through Colby shortly. The rain right behind it could pick up a quarter, half inch real quickly, and then it quickly dries off behind that as it moves through. And we look at this thing to pick up more intensity as it moves through north central Kansas and off to the east here during the midnight and early morning hours.
All right, Chris, let me ask you a question here. You kind of fill people in. We've got a lot of people, we get so many travelers on I-70, and a lot of folks that have not driven through this kind of rain and the wind and the blowing dust. What do you recommend for folks who get caught in this on our highways, especially I-70? Because we hear a lot of people say, "Oh, well, let's go ahead and whether it's a severe thunderstorm or it's a tornado warning, whatever it is, we're going to get under a bridge." And we've found out that that's not the place to be. Where's the best place to go if they can't immediately get off on an exit?
The best thing to do is get off on an exit and go to a convenience store or shelter or anything like that. Just get inside there, get that car parked. If you think it's going to hail, try to get under an awning or that. If there's mainly just wind, it's just get off the road, take a break. This line's maybe an hour long. Take that break, get something to eat, get inside, and weather the storm. If it was tornadic, then you start doing the protocol for tornado. Look for something inside, interior, away from windows. Start going through your severe weather protocol there. Definitely do not stop under the underpasses. One, you're on the roadway, causes havoc if you can't see. We've had, historically, that was something that they watched a video and saw that happen in some of those El Dorado tornadoes. That's a no-no. We learned in the Moore, Oklahoma tornadoes that debris got thrown up under those bridges, and there's groups of people hiding under there, taking cover, and then they ultimately received deaths because of debris flying up under the bridges, and they weren't protected from that type of thing. So get that out of your mind. If you want to park on the roads, you're just in the way, visibilities and wind and that. Get off the road, get into the convenience stores and the places where you have access to some shelter from the weather. So that is what you need to do if you're out on I-70, particularly tonight. If you're coming from the west, just stop in Oakley, Grinnell, Quinter, let this thing, ride this thing out. If you're already past this cell, to the west, you're fine if you're heading towards Denver. If you're going the other direction, stop in Goodland, stop in Burlington, take a break, get something to eat here, and then wait till it passes. So right now, it's moving into the Oakley area, the Colby area, McDonald area, through Birch City, and into Benkelman. That is your line. It's got scattered. We've got real strong winds, 50, 60 an hour. Some downpours that could pick up a quick quarter, half inch, lightning, and some small hail.
We will check in with you here shortly as we continue our severe weather coverage.
Okay, we've heard the rundown there. We pretty much got this covered. We'll sit here and wait till the 8:30 hour. Benkelman. It looks like you got a little hole going around Benkelman, so we're more in Birch City. Birch City's got some pretty good storm getting ready to roll through. Colby, it's probably past Brewster. Looking at Oakley. Scott City still got a lot of storm activity there. That is still the strongest cell is down there in that Scott City area. Hoxie Atwood. We'll be talking about you next. But let's get McDonald Shelter, Colby Shelter, Oakley Shelter, Scott City. That's the lines moving through there now. Again, this isn't quite as severe as it could have been tonight, but it still does have enough to break some tree limbs off, enough hail to cause a little bit of damage, something you don't want to really be driving in. So take a break if you're in Oakley. Don't be going, just stop Oakley, Colby. Obviously, those are your stopping points. Take shelter. If you're out to the west, watch this. As you're heading towards it, going away from it, just stay ahead of it. Oh, I told you we're going to look at some model data. So let's go quickly while we got about 15 minutes here. I'm going to go back to the model data. Okay, this is, so I'm going to update this now to the current hour. Let's go back to our radar. So we go, wrong one. I want to look at HRR, it's updating now. So we go to the 24Z, we got a bit of data in. So we're looking at 7 p.m., we'll go to 8 p.m. So 8 p.m., it's now it's showing in the Colby area. It's a little bit fast, so it's slowed down even more from this. So it's showing some pretty good rain as of 8 o'clock, moving through Colby, and then picking up some intensity as it moves towards Oberlin and Hoxie. As we continue to go towards the east here, this is 11 midnight, and it's getting a pretty good bow up there. Now it's Russell, or north of Russell, towards Smith Center, and as it moves off to the east. So that gives you some indication of the movement of this activity. Right now, let's see, watch this line. This is 8 o'clock. There, so that gives you that. Let's look at our rain, 1 hour rains. See what kind of rain totals we got going through here. Some of this stuff east of Colby, an inch an hour, it's picking up. So that's an inch an hour type rain is what we're looking at here. So there could be some pretty heavy rain to the west and northwest of Colby. According to this, Atwood, we're looking at a lot lighter, quarter inch an hour. Get up in Nebraska, that heavier stuff. So that is your, what time was that? 9 o'clock, so that's from 8 to 9 to the east of Colby. So that gives you some of these heavier cells can be picking up an inch and a half an hour. So that is really heavy. We'll keep an eye on that. Severe weather parameters, let's go look at a few of those, see what the hail might be doing. So if we go to our severe weather parameters, and we'll go to our vertigrated, where we at? Okay. Go helicity. Probably don't have any helicity, so let's look at our updraft. Updraft potential, get kind of the size of your hail. So again, it's showing that bigger potential hail to the south of Oakley. We just did a rundown of that. This is some golf ball size hail. You get to the west of Colby, you got some of that smaller stuff. It's not so much up that in Cheyenne, Rawlins County. So ping pong size hail, smaller to the west of Colby. This is, as we go here, that is at now. So that is verifying. Hail is verifying to the south of Oakley. Winds, we can go look at our capes, see what the wind gusts are. So again, there we are. Wind gusts along it. This is now. Same thing. These are our severe winds, severe storms. You got 2,000 mile an hour, 2,000 level capes. It weakens as it moves through Atwood. Kind of shifts here where we're seeing that heavier rain to the east, and same thing. Then it picks up again over Oberlin, Norton, Hoxie, strength as it moves to the east, and then kind of weakens there. Well, we're running out of model data. It's not updated. So that's a quick rundown of the model data. Hail's verifying. Rain's picking up as it moves past Colby. Atwood, kind of more scattered. We'll see if that will verify with what actually happens here over the next 30 minutes to 1 hour. So it's moving through Colby. We'll see what Joel says when he comes. Again, we got its scatter line. It's pretty heavy. We'll zoom in here on Colby. South of Colby, you're on 25, heading towards the curve. Mingo, going to have some pretty good hit downpour. Lightning strikes to the south and west of Colby. Here's Colby Airport. Go down to Oakley. Again, we got this larger hail in these areas south of Oakley. So ping pong hail in these areas on 83, down by the Monument Rocks area, to the north of Scott City. That is verifying with our weather parameters on our model data. A little more hit and miss and scattered here. Maybe not so much. There's probably not much in this stuff going through Rawlins County. I know we got a farmer right here that just missed the rain again, probably. John, if you're listening, you just probably barely missed it. Maybe got a little bit. Missed this nice blob here. That's kind of headed towards Atwood, so we'll keep an eye on that area, see what that does for Atwood. McDonald's getting some good rain now, lightning. So we got downpour going through McDonald, Oakley, Colby. Lots of lightning on that stuff. That cell going to Mingo on the curve between Oakley and Colby. Heading towards 83, 9 Mile corner on 24. So that's kind of where that batch is heading. It was showing it picking up and being really heavy rain there to the northeast of Colby. So that is what this one is. That was showing an inch and a half an hour here in these areas. So we'll watch this heavy area here see if that pans out. We got another heavy area to the north and west of between north of Levant, heading towards the Rawlins County line. That'll be going over the Sapa, so we might get some decent, 1-inch type rains quickly there along the Sapa in southwestern or southern Rawlins County. Looks like it's going to probably try to run down the Sapa. This other one's kind of running down the Beaver, so we'll watch that. We got another one going through McDonald that would be going towards St. John's Church, north of Beardsley area. We'll see if these hold together. We know folks that are other valet customers in those areas. So again, if you're just popping on, watching this on Facebook or YouTube, again, if you've been watching, the radio stations are calling into me. I'm doing this live, so you got live radar, live coverage. I mean, the warnings will pop up here live, and then we're spitting it out back on our Facebook pages, YouTube, and through the radio. So this is a new service that's being brought to you by American Weather Streaming Channel out of Indiana, where I'm the Kansas meteorologist. We're kind of basing this, or every product's kind of getting trialed here. We're going to have a live channel up with that with cable system, have our own TV channel that will also be on our phone app, so you can again have live weather information that's local. So if we got weather shorts in the radars and conversations with interviews with severe storm reports and you'll want to subscribe to weathervalet.com. That gets you in as a user, registered, a subscription, and then we will have a live weather channel. So it's not cable, it's a streaming channel. So we'll have it on some cable services if they want to work with us. And again, we are going to get set up and registered with weathervalet.com. Immediately now, that would give you a detailed, personalized forecast. You tell us what you're going to be doing next week. We'll have that thing first thing on Monday and keep you updated through the week. So weekends are a good time to get registered, set up in the system. We'll get you going first thing on Monday. You got a big project, a trip planned or something. Even if you're traveling anywhere in the country, we got you covered. We got a team of meteorologists. There's 12 of us doing the live streaming and the updating of the weather app. We got another 10 that are sitting there waiting to see it expand in other areas of the country. We're starting here in Northwest Kansas, expanding east to Omaha, Kansas City, and to Indianapolis. So that is our projected plan this summer. And then as we develop and go through the winter and again next spring, hopefully we'll have nationwide coverage. We do nationwide severe weather now. So if you look at our YouTube channel, you're going to see some of the other meteorologists and myself covering other parts of the country. So if you're a weather hobbyist and you like Reed Timmer and those guys and some of that other stuff that's on YouTube, get us hooked up, get us liked, compare us. We're a little different. We're really focusing on personalization and our customers. We want to get them interacting with us, sending us messages and us answering you live to show those capabilities and the flexibility of having a team of meteorologists watching this together. So there could be 4 of us. We could have somebody on the ground. We could have a storm chaser verifying hail for us. Again, we got the radio station network that'll be calling in. Once we get all their staff registered and set up, they'll be out showing you what we got. They'll be coming to your businesses and telling you about the service. And we hope to grow this really big this summer. It'd be our goal to have 60, 100 at a time coming on board. And again, it's $1 a day. We've got it based. That's the individual subscription. You get a business, you get 4 users on their account. It's basically $25 a day. You get a month free if you pay annually. That even makes it less than $1 a day. So it's less than buying a pop. It's like buying a Coke, and then you got your weather, your own personal meteorologist access. You can watch us live and your own weather channel. If you remember the old weather channel, the weather on the 9s, we'll have it 24/7. You'll see time and temperature and videos, cameras running, people jumping on and off with the shorts. And, I'm painting the picture. It's not developed yet. We're piloting it. We hope to have it going August 1st, but we got to get, this is where it starts with these live streams. done several of them. I've done some events. Last Saturday, Joel and I were on. We did a really lengthy one. If you go back and look at last Saturday's, today's is going to be very similar to that. I did a lot of talking and a lot of PR because we were watching a line come in. But again, that's what we're trying to do here. Is develop, put me as the face of Northwest Kansas. I've been here 23. I think this is my 23rd year of forecasting at the radio stations. Haven't missed very many mornings. Can remember a lot of storms, a lot of hot weather, a lot of dry weather, a lot of drought, a lot of hail, a few tornadoes. All right, let's zoom in here, see what's happening. Pretty much scattered around Colby. Heavier area now is on I-70 in Mingo. So you're bearing the brunt there now. We got this heavier area that's to northern Rollins County. We got some stuff that's, we'll watch this. This here now has some hail. So if you're in Rollins County, south of the highway, probably right on the Beaver Creek, I'm guessing out there towards Dewey, between Dewey's and Dixon somewhere. It does look like there's some hail, maybe north of the Beaver a little bit. That's probably Road 10, so that is probably right there on Dewey's. So you can see that here. We can go ahead and look at our vertigrated integrated liquid here. See what we got going. Well, it's not too bad. Orange. This is 2-inch. This is 3/4. So it's small, but it's there. Again, that 2-inch stuff is down here, where it's gray. So your oranges are out here. These are your smallers. They get bigger as this color changes. You get right here some hail in that Mingo area. This is where hail's at. Boom, boom. McDonald, West McDonald. There's some pretty good fields out here. You guys know who you are. I don't want to name all the farms because I know them all. Here, down about Dewey's, north of Dewey's, and Holtz's. Oops, sorry. South of Colby. Oakley, sorry. That's a big stuff. Oh, there's some good hail up here in Nebraska, too. 1 to 2 inch. So that is where the hail's at. Let's go back to our rain and okay. Oh, it's Nebraska. All right, so now we got special weather advisories, not warnings to the east. So again, the Weather Service has downgraded this as it goes through Atwood, Grove City, Oakley, Quinter to a special weather statement. That means small hail and wind gusts 40, 50 mile an hour. So again, if this is the trend as it moves through our immediate area, these are in place until 31 minutes till 9 o'clock. I kind of just send a message out that I thought this would be winding down around 9. Got good rain out here south of Oakley, so this is where I'm surprised they don't have a warning on that. That's a little bit surprising to me. Because there's hail there. Definitely is, so we'll see. We'll watch. That'll probably get plot back up. This one will probably turn into a warning. This one here might stay a special weather statement. I do expect Joel and Joe to call in here definitely. Now that this stuff has went down, wondering what's going on. So the next half hour, this is in a special weather statement. Warning has been downgraded and lifted. We are watching that stuff south of Oakley. That is really strong going through western Grove County. There is probably hail in that. They might have downgraded because the wind gust, if you notice here, has weakened considerably. It's not so much a bow like it is down here. Again, I'm shocked that this isn't a warning. This stuff right here. But anyway, strongest stuff now. Got some hail, like I said, south of Atwood. Looks like we got some. So what's happening here? This is interesting. See this gust front? This is rolling out in front ahead of it, and you're going to see these isolated storms pop up. So this one will turn into a thunderstorm. Probably zap this one a little bit. Same thing as we go here. So you'll start seeing storms roll along this. One there, one there. We'll see if that stays a special weather state, particularly on this area and this area heading towards Atwood. Let's watch that, because that's where I'm broadcasting from. I'm going to go out and take a peek at it probably. Okay, that cloud is pretty dark to the south and west of Atwood. You can see some lightning in it. So we're going to watch that one. I think there's some hail. Or we can look at the hail parameters. This has definitely got some hail in it. There's some hail right there. But if you're in Atwood, I know you probably are. We're looking at this cloud to the south and west of town. Right now it's crossing probably right at the Beardsley turnoff. So we got some rain moving into Beardsley. Down North Fork Beaver. It's moving pretty well. So again, this is a special weather advisory. They're calling this, let me see what kind of hail they're calling it. 50 mile an hour wind and half-inch hail. So that's small hail. Half-inch, you're talking about a quarter size if you're going by the old standards of quarters, nickels, dimes. We like golf balls, baseballs, and softballs now. Grapefruit this year. Lots of large hail this year. It's been a hail year. You heard me and Timmy talking about hail all over the country this year. Tornadoes up in Canada, Nova Scotia yesterday. Crazy. So southwest of Atwood, we're keeping an eye on that. It's not severe as far as a warning goes, but there is some hail. Looks like it's going to try to skirt Atwood, but then we'll watch this area here. It's getting pretty strong as well. Colby, none of it's through. Heavier gem, still got the stronger stuff. Grinnell, this out here on I-70 is pretty rough around the campus. Ethanol plant, maybe getting some small hail there. Wind gust 50 mile an hour. Obviously hail here in Gove County. They're calling this gusty winds could knock down tree limbs, blow around unsecured object. Minor hail damage to vegetation is possible. They got Atwood, Rexford, Menlo, 8:30. We're not quite there yet. Interstate 61 to 68. Most of that's already done. So we're watching Atwood, Rexford, Menlo, Grinnell. Atwood, Rexford, Menlo, Grinnell, next 15 minutes. Winkelman, Stratton, probably, up here in Nebraska. So we'll take a watch this since this is our immediate area. Radio stations are probably waiting for the warnings to go off. Not sure we're going to see any at this point. Again, I better start talking here. I'm sitting here. We got special weather statements. The stuff is not. We got severe warning up there in Benkelman, clipping up northern parts of the county. That's in effect for one inch hail, 60 mile an hour wind for another 7 minutes. Atwood, stuff getting ready to roll through here. Maybe just wind. It's kind of hit and miss right now. Could be developing as it moves through. And we're starting to see some fill in back here. So let's watch this. This area may just fill in and intensify here because it is supposed to intensify as it moves eastward. So maybe we'll get more rain than we think. Let's cross our fingers on that. Keep the hail away. Give us some rain. We'll wish that right now. So as this line comes through Atwood here in the next 10-15 minutes, we'll see what it's got as far as wind gusts, downpours. Kind of Atwood's kind of in a split right now. Oh, I just hear the wind now. Can hear it on the roof. When my roof squeaks, that's usually 35. Just put new shingles on. Thanks, back construction. You need to get signed up. Could be watching this for you. I just got new shingles and roof. Shane and the guys whipped her out in less than 3 hours. Probably 3 hours. Woke me up at 6. People crawling on my roof. I thought Spider-Man was here. But anyway, we're watching this go through. Atwood as we speak, it's non-severe. Special weather statement saying we could have 50 mile an hour wind, quarter-inch size hail. Looks like that activity would be out there on 36 towards Beersley. We got another batch that could have some small hail on the Sapa. Kind of heading down the Sapa, crossing 25 going towards Chillis. that cell. Then we got the other cell north of Atwood. Atwood's kind of in between them. So if you want to zoom in on this, for Rawlins County, the Atwood area, we'll just watch this as it comes through, since that's where I'm sitting. So I guess I can narrate this. If you're in Rawlins County, down there on Highway 25, along the Sapper, maybe just a little bit north, it's farther than 10 miles, probably about 10 miles. So Chardon Park, the old Chardon Park area. North and west of town, St. John's Church, Beardsley, road, I can't get my roads, forget my numbers now, going on the old ones. So as we watch this go through Atwood, looks like it's kind of splitting around Atwood. This might fill in here, we'll see. Past Bickleman, starting to see some rain shadow back behind it. If we got anything down here south. Everything's staying special weather statements. Quite surprising. Just under that 1 inch and 60 mile an hour. So we keep watching this activity as it moves through. It's not as severe as what we once thought, or as widespread. I mean, it's severe. There could be some hail that could damage vegetation, which means wheat in this. But we are, that is the threat we got. These special weather statements go in effect until 9 o'clock. We'll watch them here through 9. Then we might wind down then after that. But that is kind of the rundown as we're speaking here. We'll kind of wait for these radio stations to give us one last hurrah here this evening if they do. Looks like we might get these through here without warnings, which saves my voice a little bit. But this does give you a feel of what we're doing, especially if you're on here when we did have the warnings, what we can do with the radio stations. And doing the live coverage, that was actually a message coming in. Got some photos coming in of the storm. Michelle gave a nice photo of a supercell and an updraft from Levant area. Thank you, Michelle Fabricius. This came in on the Northwest Kansas radio webpage, Facebook page. Kind of a nice wall cloud and non-burst in that supercell. That popped in here. That's it so far. Again, get signed up for Weather Valet. That is something we are got multiple cars parked under bridge westbound I-70, I-70 in Milesburg 79 just outside of Oakley. Please don't do that. Let's get these cars off the highway. It's probably not the best thing. I know you're trying to get out of the hail, but there is heavy rain and hail in that area, so that's why they are doing that, but usually that could be just as dangerous as I know you're trying to avoid the hail. So thank you for that message, Alex Brock. Heavy rain and hail just came in the mile marker 78 to the just outside of Oakley. So you're seeing that on radar here. They're reporting hail on I-70 with this stuff that just went through there. So thank you, Alex. Again, this is coming in on our Facebook pages, our messages, and then get on our Weather Valley phone app. You can have this live feed as we get the live channel up and running, and one-on-one communication with our team of meteorologists to answer the questions here this evening. So I'm kind of scanning through the messages as they come in here, going into my email. So Nick just gave us a heat risks map. So a new heat risk product that's coming around the country. Looking at some information that came in on agriculture data from Michael. But anyway, this is how this is going to work. You guys send me messages here. We got a warning that popped up in Nebraska. This would include basically Hayes County. So that'll be for 0.88 inch. Never seen that come through here. Get around that either to an inch. 0.88 inch hail and wind gust 60 mile an hour. Warning for Hayes County in Nebraska. That does include Hayes Center. This cell that's lifting them through Juanita, Hamlet area to the north and west of Stratton. Looks like it's got severe potential with it. That line does have some pretty good size hail. 0.88, that's almost getting up there to close to golf ball size hail. So we got a warning on Hayes Center, Hayes County up in Nebraska. So we're not completely out of the warning criteria yet. We need to watch this stuff that is. We just got reports that there was lots of hail at mile marker 78 to the east of Oakley. That stuff has moved off to the north and east through the New Angelo area, through Menlo, heading towards Hoxie. So if you're in Hoxie, you can expect maybe some hail here in the next 15 minutes or so as this line moves through. Gove City, Gove County, Grinnell, Grainfield Park, you can still downline from this. Could get some heavier rain and hail again also in those areas in the next 15 minutes. Colby, Oakley, Atwood, it's kind of already split around Atwood. We got a little downpour now. Is it downpouring out there? Anyway. So kind of coming through Atwood. Split it around Atwood. Got some good stuff to the north, maybe a little small hail. Roads down in the draw, about 10 miles north of Atwood. Actually, not 10 miles, it's only about 5 miles. So out there towards Surefire Ag. Maybe a little hail, lightning, northwest part of the county, kind of where I live. Our farm, looks like we got maybe a little hail going through there. Have to see. That's definitely close. My guess is, that could be some of that quarter-size hail there. Let's look at our pops up on our veil. Get any oranges here. Oh, that's velocity. Wrong map. Let's get our veil. Our vertigated integrated liquid, yes, there is a little bit of hail there. So we're looking at that. Got a little bit of hail on this cell to the south of Atwood. Rexford, big hail actually in Rexford. This stuff, I don't know why there's not warnings on that. But anyway, pretty good hail out there and that stuff. Like they said, it got reported on 78 that there was a lot of hail at mile marker 78. So that stuff is now north of the interstate to the northwest of Grinnell in that New Angelo area up south of Menlo. This is large hail. If it's like what we saw in Nebraska, it's probably getting close to the golf ball size. This stuff in Rawlins County is smaller, but it is hail. Looking at our scale here, this is 2 inch. This is ½ inch, so we're in that 88, kind of what we saw up there in Nebraska that actually has a warning on it. So, and then this stuff is larger. This could be up to golf ball, definitely golf ball size. Maybe even ping pong, actually. So let's go back to our lost regular reflectivity. Again, this is severe weather coverage. American Weather Service Channel, Kansas. Meteorologist Chris Schromick. Also doing live with Northwest Kansas Radio, Joe and Joe. So we got Joe, and Chris from the radio stations working tonight. We've done some cut-ins. Weather has not been as severe as kind of anticipated, so we're going to probably wrap this up at 9 as this moves through. I'm not sure the radio stations will call unless we get some warnings going, but right now, the worst of it's going to be going through Hoxie. You're going to get some large hail, wind gusts up there 50 mile an hour. That's going to be there in the next 10 minutes or so. Atwood, it's kind of moved through. Colby, it's moved through. Here's some rumbles of thunder now here in Atwood. That means we got lightning. You can see them popping up. And so this cell is getting bigger as it goes through Atwood. We kind of thought that could happen. It might not fully develop over Atwood, but we're hearing the thunder at least now from this lightning. We'll zoom in on this a little bit. So you can see what I'm talking about, or see what you hear outside, and watch what you're talking about. We got some pretty good rain south of town, southwest parts of town, or the county, southwest of Atwood. Up to the north, maybe a little hail. Definitely got a little hail here now. South of Ludell Road, south of 36, right directly south of Ludell. So as this moves through Rawlins County, just some spotty hail. We'll probably get some reports of that coming in. Some up to the north and the west, Beardsley, north of St. John's, maybe a little bit south of Ludell, on the south side of 36. Again, it's small. That small this time of year, 40, 50 mile an hour wind will still cause some problems. Again, we'll watch this here for another 5 minutes. So again, this is we've been streaming here this evening since 6:30, I believe. My microphone wasn't working. I got a new mic. I'm not sure why that doesn't work. I gotta play with that tomorrow. But again, we were prepared for tonight. We were broadcasting this. Again, I'm not seeing if we can get people to subscribe, to Weather Valet. That's our bread and butter to get us up here online. We need to get some subscriptions generated to get that channel up on time, August 1st. But again, $1 a day would give you access to personalized forecasts first thing in the morning, weather updates through the day. We'll plan for you. We'll do vacation planning, whatever you want. So the Weather Service has now issued winter weather advisories now until, imagine these will go till 10 o'clock or no, 9:30. That'll be McCook, Jennings, Dresden, Oberlin. Actually, yeah. So everything Herndon to the east of Atwood, Ludell. Again, these are for that hail and wind. We'll kind of leave our radars up here. Probably shut off the microphones. Watch this move through. But here at 9, we'll probably, since that has been issued, the radio stations do not call me at 9. That means they're probably going to call it quits too. If they've seen that. I don't even know if they can see this. So I imagine they'll at least call and want an update to see, make sure they can go home. But again, if you're watching, I haven't had a chance to look at our ticks and numbers here to see how many we do got watching. I did a pretty good job of getting the information out that we were going here. Sorry I'm not talking loud enough and might not have my mic up, but I am really starting to lose my voice. And it's getting humid in here. But we're watching this as it skirts around Atwood. I think we got a little downpour still coming through because this is lifted north here south of town. Can't quite hear. A lot of times I can hear that. But if you were watching all night or off and on all night, you got to see how I can do a quick model rundown at the top of every hour. Our model data loads, and then we can see if it's verifying what we're watching. We get the Weather Service stuff live, just like the ES radio or anything like that. So we can get the scripts and that, report it to you as fast as we get it, turn it around. If you got questions on this phone or our pages, just send them in. We'll get them answered here. And again, send us our pictures. I'm not quick enough to figure out how to get the pictures from my phone to the computer and up, but when we have a staff meteorologist working with me, they'll be doing that. So you can send us your storm reports and pictures. But again, we're going to grow this from Western Kansas. Our work with Northwest Kansas Radio. If you heard me and Joel talking there, we're going to get that all put into place next week. They got a new farm director. She's from Atwood, Kansas too. So we've got a familiar face and crew working there. To expand the farm network through KXXX radio. We're going to be working specifically with Goodland, Curtis, being hyper local for Goodland. Goodland, you're going to have your own meteorologist, which will be me. I'll be now not just Atwood's meteorologist and Colby's, I'll be also Goodland working with Curtis. So I know Jesse Lundquist there at the Weather Service office, the severe storms coordinator or warning coordinator, was an intern with me when he was deciding to go to college. So he knows how we do this and deliver this I call this consulting, but the radio, text messaging, personal communication, telling you how, when, where, and how much you're going to get and when. That's kind of what we do. And you have us hired for $1 a day. You can hire me and our team to keep you updated, keep your social media updated, keep your family, friends. If you want to get a business subscription for your farm and put for your farm hands and your wife and family on the plan, let's go for it. We got the software that helps us communicate back faster. We can manage multiple things at once now, and as long as we can talk and do this live, it frees up us the ability to really personalize this and talk it through. It's we're all trained meteorologists. We're all certified. Went to colleges that would be accredited to have jobs with the Weather Service or anywhere across the country broadcasting. Some of our guys have been broadcasters. I know Timmy's done broadcasting in several cities. He's a storm chaser. I think he still is broadcasting during the day and doing this in the evenings and at night for us and on the weekends. He's getting married this weekend, as a matter of fact. Congratulations, Tim and his wife. If you've seen me and Timmy do some of this live forecasting, we get off kilter a lot. We talk about his pet raccoon and movies and music and the old days. And he's not as old as me, but he knows old facts and trivia, especially the weather, geography. Well, looks like we got some storms popping up around Culbertson, north of Herndon. Another line. Kind of get this moving through here. Now it is 9 o'clock, so I'll wait another 5-10 minutes or so. Got a pretty good line getting ready to go through Selden. I hear a little bit. It sounds like maybe hail here in Allen. Not sure what that was. Just big rain. But Selden, you got a pretty good line. Here we go, northwest Kansas. Hey, Joel.
So, apparently they got the tornado warning sirens going off in Hoxie right now. They've got everybody in. They said so. Not even. So I said we don't have any warning, nothing from the weather service. He says he's got. This is from Heskett. Tornado sirens coming off in Hoxie. Zero visibility. So I'm like, I got nothing here.
Now we got a special weather statement, and I got it up on radar. We do just had a warning pop up that does not include Hoxie, but it's probably at the feed yard north. It's going through Selden, which would be some large hail.
Okay.
So.
Do you have a moment to get on with it?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, here it is. It's coming over the EAS. It's going to pop here in a second. So,
it's a thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Can you hold on for about a minute and a half?
Yep.
Cool. I'll let this do its thing, and I'll be right with you.
So if you just saw that, we got a thunderstorm warning. Now that we were talking about that, possibly going through that Selden area, we were watching that. I was just about ready to talk about that before the storm went off. But if you are in Hoxie, that tornado warning sirens are not going off for a tornado. You might have had a gust front go through there. I'm not sure why they triggered. But there is no tornado warning for Hoxie. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning with some stuff that's just to the northwest of Hoxie. Again, that is said that storm is in 902, 15 miles northwest of Hoxie. So it is this Selden activity that we're watching. So that's moving at 45 miles an hour. So that means we will be on here for another 45 minutes, probably. 40 minutes.
This thunderstorm warning, we are getting reports, and we're going to try to get a hold of authorities. But the story is that there are tornado sirens going off right now in Hoxie. They have zero visibility, but nothing has been issued from the weather service. And so, what are you seeing at this point as we roll here in a little after 9 o'clock Central Time?
Okay, we watching that Hoxie area. I mean, we do not have any anything verifying on radar or from the Weather Service that there would be any indication of a tornado. There is a line of strong thunderstorms moving through Hoxie. There is no warning on them, but a warning has just been issued, which would be just to the northwest of Hoxie, maybe about 5 miles north of 24. That is the southern end of a warning that has a strong cell now moving through Selden. That does have 1-inch hail, some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts on it, and that's moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So that does put Selden, Dresden, Oberlin, and much of western half of Decatur County in a warning for the next 40 minutes until 9:45 p.m. But that cell is to the north and west of Hoxie, about 15 miles. There is a strong cell moving just through the Hoxie area that could have some half-inch, three-quarter-inch, maybe up to an inch size hail moving through, and some lightning being reported, maybe a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust initially when it went through, reducing those visibilities. But right now, there is no indication of anything tornadic. It would be some hail, some downpours, a wind gust, and no warning is in place. A special weather advisory is in place, which does say 50, 55-mile-an-hour wind and half-inch to three-quarter-inch size hail. Hey, Joel, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. We have had some issues with equipment. All right, sorry about that. So here's the deal. We are getting reports of cars that are starting to stack up under bridges on I-70 or Oakley. That is, again, a problem. That is all sorts of issues with that. Again, we want to let people know that is not the place to be. The place to be is get off at a nearby exit. A lot of these towns between Goodland and Oakley have services for people.
Yeah, and I saw that come through the also as well, and that was I think at 78 when that storm went through. It's actually the same cell we're watching in that Hoxie area. So when it did go across the interstate just to the east of Oakley, it did have some hail, so people were parking under the underpass to get out from that hail. I know that's what you want to do because of the hail, but again, stopping the visibilities causes problems if you get congested under there. And again, if the winds get strong enough and it was tornadic or something, that is not what to do. You need to get off at the exits, try to find shelter, the convenience stores, and that obviously. Best thing to do is just pay attention a little bit more to the weather and try to avoid those things. But again, that is not what you want to do in severe weather instances. So again, we saw that earlier, but now the focus is we got this warning in place. It's kind of lifting through the interstate. We've still got activity that will be running from Quinter to Grinnell. We got heavy rain, maybe some small hail. Special weather advisory has been issued that includes places north of the interstate, would be Menlo, Hoxie, to the Graham County line, north to Jennings. And then you get into that warning area, which would be Dresden, Selden, Oberlin, and to the west, Decatur is where that large hail and that severe storm is now moving. Yeah, if we're looking at the rest of the weekend, particularly for the Father's Day, two things are going to be going on. Tomorrow, we got another round of weather that we'll be watching late in the afternoon, evening. This upper level trough will still have the axis shifting to our east. So we're looking at potential for some storms, maybe severe weather east of a Norton Leota line. So that stuff will be firing during the afternoon towards evening to our east, moving away from us. So the bulk of the day will be pretty nice. We'll be looking at sunshine temperatures up there in the lower 90s. When you get to Father's Day, it's going to start getting hot and windy, particularly later in the afternoon. We could be seeing temperatures reaching near triple digits and those southwest winds gusting 30, maybe 35 miles per hour. So you don't really want to be outside with that type of temperature and out there at the waters or lakes and that. But the mornings should be decent, both Saturday and Sunday. So if you want to do stuff outdoors, do them in the morning hours and then maybe avoid the later afternoons here over Father's Day weekend.
Back with you. All right.
Okay, you saw another rundown there. What we got going. Watching this cell that's now in Decatur County. That's basically for that large hail that's moving through there. But again, that goes in place until 9:45. So we got 30 minutes on there. I'm going to put the radar, since I just did that update, I'm going to take a quick break here, get some water. Okay, we got a tornado warning. We're going to be doing an update here on Northwest Kansas Radio. So this just
All right,
popped
good
up.
evening. It is the Rocky Media Radio Network. All right, we have this the tornado warning. We're going to get all the latest out. Thank you to Michael Cotter, talk to him. Thank you to the Weather Service people there. Boom. Now we're going to go talk to our resident meteorologist, Chris Schramming. Chris, what do you have for us? And the things up near the Oberlin area is getting kind of intense right now.
Yeah, we got this cell that we watched that going through the Selden area. It's now 8 miles southwest of Oberlin, and it is starting to show some rotation indication on radar. This cell is moving to the north and east towards Oberlin at about 30 miles per hour or so. So it will be in the Oberlin area shortly, and we got that tornado warning with that cell now moving towards Oberlin. Radar indicated, but it is showing some rotation here as we're going. So this is a possible tornado moving towards Oberlin. So if you're in Oberlin, or areas to the south and the west, and even past Oberlin, we've got this. Please take shelter immediately. It's a dangerous storm and potential there. Run through your tornado protocols. Go indoors. Go to the interior rooms, lowest level, basement if you have one, and take shelter immediately because we do have a radar indicated rotation. It is showing up here on radar. If you're watching what we're doing on live stream, we'll go and watch the velocity scans and see where exactly that's going and tracking. But right now it does look like it's a little bit south of Oberlin, taking a track that'll cross 83 and then move to the south and east of the city of Oberlin. But that is on track there. So take shelter immediately if you're in that Oberlin area with this tornado warning in place. It will be in place until 9:45 p.m. It's moving quickly and heading towards the Oberlin area. Joel, I can't hear you, Joel. So we'll take a look at this on the velocity scans. That way we can see exactly where we're talking about with this rotation. So when we pull this high resolution velocities up, here you go. We're starting to see that circulation. So we're going to watch this to see the exact location of the movement of this tornado. So you just heard me say that on the radio there, that would look like it was going to go just to the south and east of Oberlin. But right now, if you're in the Oberlin area, take shelter immediately. This tornado is moving through quickly, and it's a radar indicator, but its potential does look like there's a small tornado possibly just to the southwest of Oberlin. This next scan just verified that it is in Oberlin, moving through. So that was very quick. So we're going to keep watching this here. Again, this is the velocity scan. It has lost its signature, so that's good news. It may have lifted itself or not actually touched the ground, but there for a second it was showing the potential for a tornado. So we're going to keep watching this. Again, it has moved through the Oberlin area, heading to the north and east. Right now it's kind of lost its rotation, but it is sitting there just to the southwest of Oberlin. Tornado warning will be in place for the next 20 minutes for Decatur County, in particular the community of Oberlin. If you're looking at this severe storm, we do got some hail that's out there towards the Traer area. We got that severe thunderstorm warning. It also goes until 9:45. It does include all of Decatur County to the state line, to the Rawlins County line, and to the west or the east of Oberlin, about halfway to North Decatur. Again, this cell does have a history of large hail. This rotation here that the Weather Service has triggered a tornado warning for the Oberlin area. We can kind of run down the So again, Severe weather here tonight. We haven't seen a lot of it. What we do have is this has moved off to the east. This tornado, a rotation that was indicated here on radar to the south and west of Oberlin, is now moving through Oberlin with the potential of a tornado. So if you are watching or listening in the Oberlin area, please run through your tornado protocol, get to the lowest level of your house. That would include basements. If you don't have a basement, go to an interior room away from windows. Get your weather radio on and your alerts going to wait till the storm clears the area. And again, there is a potential tornado in the Oberlin area. Again, this has been issued by the National Weather Service. Radar indicated a cell that was 8 miles southwest of town about a little over 10 minutes ago is now probably moved through the community of Oberlin or near the community of the Oberlin to the south and east. And again, this is a tornadic cell moving to the north and east at 45 miles per hour. So it is a fast-moving cell. If you're located to the north and east of Oberlin, you need to take shelter as well because there is a potential tornadic thunderstorm moving through the Oberlin area here as we speak. It is 9:28 p.m. This goes until 9:45. We'll keep our eyes and ears on this, but please take precautions if you're tornadic protocols if you're in the Oberlin, Decatur, immediate Oberlin area, and really locations to the north and east once it's moving through. Again, a tornado warning for 9:45 for Decatur County and the new community of Oberlin. If you're looking more broader than that, we got the severe thunderstorm warning that we just ran down. We got a special weather statement that does include McCook and Jennings and Dresden to the south and east. That is also in place with this line that is now moving through the northeast in areas in central Decatur County and lifting out of Sheridan County here this evening. We zoom out of our radar a little bit. Those are the only tornado warning is the only warning. We do got the Hayes Center stuff that is still in effect with that warning. It's thunderstorm warning. But again, we're watching this potential rotation and tornado. We're not quite seeing there was, if we run this back a little bit, we'll kind of show you what the Weather Service was looking at when they issued this. So if we take our radar scan back several frames, go back 7 frames here and run it, you're going to see this rotation, and it's still there. So if we watch this on the velocity scans, this tornadic cell is now just to the south and east of Oberlin. We can see it a lot better on this. So we'll zoom in. This is where we're talking now. It looks like it's crossing 36 to the cemetery or just to the west or east of Oberlin there. This is where this tornado would be based on this radar velocity scan. This is a signature that the Weather Service radars would trigger a warning. So we got a potential tornado that could be a small one on the ground. Radar indicated this has not been reported by any public or that, and there is plenty of public there to see that. But if we could see some reports come in, we would. But we don't have any verification. But this is radar indicated a dangerous storm now crossing Highway 36 to the east of Oberlin with a potential tornado. A tornado warning has been issued based on this information that I'm showing you here live on America Weather Streaming Channel, Kansas. Again, this is the radar scans that the Weather Service would be using to indicate if there's a rotation in this cell. You just saw the Weather Service kind of updated the movement of that. It has extended it a little farther there in Decatur County. As long as we continue to see these circular colors where the reds are intersecting into the greens, it weakened there on that next scan a little bit. So we'll just keep watching it. We'll reverse our frames a little bit. But now this is crossing 36, moving to the northeast. I think we had a 45 mile an hour speed on this. Again, it's still in place for 14 minutes. We'll watch what the Weather Service does, see if there's been any Still radar indicated. 1-inch hail. So we are continuing to watch a tornado warning or a potential tornadic storm that's now to the north and east of Oberlin. We'll go back to our, this is the best view of it. You really can't see it here. The radar, the Weather Service radar is just getting too far away to use that as something to watch this with. But this velocity scan is a pretty good indicator of what we're looking at. Again, this potential tornado is now to the east, northeast of Oberlin, roughly between Canota, Oberlin, rural areas, now north and east of the golf course, Sapa Park area. Again, a tornado warning. Radar indicated tornado potentially in the Sapa Park area, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. If this continues, it'll be moving through rural areas between Norcator and Cedar Bluff in Decatur County. So if you live in those areas to north central and northern Decatur County between Norcator and Cedar Bluff, we do have this tornado warning now in place. There also is a severe thunderstorm warning for that same area until 9:45 p.m. You look at the Weather Service here on our scan, it is narrowing it into this one cell as it moves north and east. So we'll keep our eyes on this for the next 12 minutes. Again, the Weather Service, looks like they put a severe thunderstorm now that would include Red Willow County. Yes, tornado warning. Now, location is north and east of Sapa Park, moving through rural areas of Decatur County between Norcator and Cedar Bluff. We got a severe tornado warning in place until 9:45. That'll be another 10 minutes.
Huh?
Be another 10 minutes. This is a dangerous storm. Please take shelter. Tornado warning, Decatur County. And just this velocity scan really gives us the best look at this. We're seeing it lose a little of that circulation. We'll see if they'll continue this here. But again, we're seeing the lightning really pick up in these areas with this activity. So we do got a severe thunderstorm warning that would be in the Almena area. Long Island, Prairie View, east of Almena. Also, the cell now moving into Red Willow County across the state line. Southern Red Willow County across 83, north of Cedar Bluff. Would be McCook and Indianola. We got that in place. That will probably go till 10, I'd imagine. No, it goes until 10:30. But we'll zoom in on this tornado warning again. It's hard to see on this. Let's get our velocities back up. You see this area we're talking about. It's now well past Overland in those rural areas between North Cater and Cedar Bluff. Seven more minutes on that. Keep an eye on it. We'll check the Hastings radar out, see if we got a better shot. There's Hastings. No, it's still better, good one. Oh, run down this. We got the tornado warning. These two cells out here in Logan, Prairie View, Long Island, in western Phillips County. We got thunderstorm warning, and now a thunderstorm warning that includes basically Cedar Bluff north of McCook on 83 and Indianola north and east of McCook until 10:30 on that one. So we'll watch this tornado warning here for the next 7 minutes. See what happens there. See if that continues. We don't see it moving that tornado box northward. So my guess is they're going to let that expire. We'll wait and see. We got 5 more minutes. But again, tornado warning. This cell did move through the Oberlin area. Started southwest of Oberlin here about a half hour ago or 20 minutes ago. And now is north and east of Oberlin and rural areas of the county. Moving through North Cater, between North Cater and Cedar Bluff. If you're out there, take precautions. Do your tornado drill. Go to the lowest floor in the house, interior room. If you don't have a lower level, stay away from windows. If you need to, put your are near a window, blankets over you, anything for flying debris and glass. That's usually how you get injured in a tornado. Again, we always ask you to have weather radios on hand. Listen to 2 sources, your cell phone and your weather radio in case you don't have batteries backing them up. But a good thing now with the cell phones, you can have our us on and be watching that. You can have the weather service tuned in to the radio and vice versa. We'll keep watching this storm stuff move through here tonight. We haven't had a lot of warnings. We've had more as they moved off to the east here. We got this tornado warning. We'll see how this pans out tomorrow if we got any verification that there was one. But there was a pretty good signature as it moved through south and west of Oberlin, across 83 and to the southeast. So probably pretty much to the across 83, maybe 3 miles south of town. This Chris.
This is going to slow down anytime soon. I want to go home.
It's one line. It's just got to keep moving.
It's going to keep on trucking. Hey, do you have a free moment for us?
Yeah, here. I'm kind of.
All right, stand by. go. Some tips from meteorologist, and I'll be honest, I took that off YouTube. So, like back in the early spring into that. I don't know who she is, but it's pretty good information. So I'll look at it. We're going to go locally now to that helps our local guys get things. We've got Chris Charlotte standing by. Chris, what's the latest still up? And just Decatur County getting it tonight right now.
Yeah, we've been watching this cell that had the tornado warning for Decatur County, and we got our velocity scans up here, and that's the scan that the Weather Service uses. That if it has rotation in it, where you see the colors changing color and rotating, that'll trigger the warning with the radar indicated. When that was south and west of Oberlin and moving just to the south and east of town, maybe crossing 36 by the cemetery and moving through Sapa Park and the golf course area, it did have pretty good rotation. And if there was a funnel or small tornado, that's probably where we're going to see some damage with this cell. Now, as it moved off to the north and east and got into rural areas between Norcator and Cedar Bluff here towards the end of this warning, it did lose the indication on radar. So we're going to be checking here in 1 minute whether this is going to be extended or not. But my guess is, since they haven't been moving the box forward, that this will be allowed to expire. But we do have this line of cells that is now moving through Red Willow County. We got a strong storm that's crossed the state line at Highway 83 with potential for 1 inch hail, wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. That would include Indianola, McCook, and areas to the east of McCook here until 10:30. And then we also got, that's the only other warning out there. So as this line moves off to the north and east, the weather for northwest Kansas will start kind of winding down here over the next half hour or so. Most of this activity is now cleared. Most of Rawlins County, all of Thomas County, Rawlins County, as in leaving the Oberlin area, moving into Norton, Beaver City, Cambridge, Stockville, east of McCook, that Indianola area, here over the next hour or 45 minutes or so. So that is moving kind of away from the Colby listening area, but we do got the tornado warning did drop. So like we said, nope, it just popped back up. So we got that now did extend for another 30 minutes to the north and east of Oberlin. It's not including Oberlin, but it does have those rural areas north and west of Norcator. You don't see on the scans here a lot, but that cell now would have a tornado warning continuing for the next 30 minutes for rural areas of Decatur County between Norcator and Danbury. So it does not include Norcator or Danbury, but those rural areas in between, National Weather Service is saying that there is still rotation indicating a level that could have a possible tornado. So that is the cell we're watching. That cell that's now south and east of McCook crossing 83. That'll be moving towards Indianola, has the potential for 1 inch hail. Now we've got this cell in those rural areas between Norcator and Danbury, kind of moving north and east towards Lebanon over the next 30 minutes. So we'll keep an eye on that. But again, this weather, these two cells are moving away from the immediate listening area. Everything is kind of subsided back to the west, and we're watching this line now moving through northeastern Decatur County and going into eastern Red Willow County. Again, the Weather Service has extended this, so let's go and look at our velocity scans. I'm going to kind of leave this up. It's kind of moving away. We got that tornado warning. It's hard to see a lot of signature there, but this is where we'll be looking. In this area, north and west of Norcator. between Danbury, Lebanon, Mercator. Okay, as we were taking the break there, Weather Service did drop that tornado warning. So, like we said, the rotation was just lacking there towards the end of it. We're watching this stuff that's now moving to the north and east of 83 and McCook. Warning on that, but this is all kind of rapidly moving out of the listening area as we speak. So that's good news. So we're going to wrap this up here tonight. Again, this is American Weather Streaming Channel meteorologist Chris Schommick. Thank you for watching and listening. Again, we're going to be doing this more and more. To get subscribed, go to weathervalet.com. Get yourself in the system to where we can let you know we're live. We'll get the forecast to you in the morning, site specific or where you're going, and that. Again, you can watch this. We did model rate rundowns and the works here tonight. Enjoyed listening to you. We had Joel on with the radio station. We'll get that audio figured out better. And we have Joe. And thank you. Good night from American Weather Streaming Channel. And we're signing off. Severe weather coverage here in northwest Kansas and southwest Nebraska.